Kurt's pissed, I'm pissed, and you're about to find out why you should be pissed.
Yeah.
We're Slikrok Productions, and this is probably the most important rant video that we have put together.
Yeah, this is rant video 638, but this is an important video, so hang with us for a minute. There are people who are anti-off-road everywhere. Utah's full of them, and a lot of our neighboring states are full of them. They're all over the place. These people annoy all of us, and there's some groups out there that are well-funded. They have lobbyists, and they work specifically to shut down trails, to shut down access to public lands, and to basically take our rights and our civil liberties away from us. This irritates all of us to no end, and this has gone on for a long time. We have some friends in the Senate, we have some friends in government, we have friends in county and cities. We're pretty well informed, and we have a lot of allies out there, a lot of heroes out there that are nameless with capes that fight these fights all the time. When we do events and we have these guys with us, we try to highlight them, bring them up on the stage. Most of them like to stay behind the radar, but at the end of the day, thank all you guys, number one. But number two, this stuff is not cheap. And Slikrok has donated lots of money over the years. We've pushed towards attorneys and to some allies and some organizations and some groups. But this stuff does spiral, and it needs to be paid attention to. The fear that we have is, you know, if you go back east, there's not a lot of land out there. There's not a lot of public land out there. You guys are in riding parks, and you travel and trailer to go to places where you want to ride and enjoy some outdoor rec. Here in our home state and our neighboring states, a lot of places back west, street legal is allowed out here. And we leave our houses, we ride in the mountains, we go from trail to trail, we ride on the roads, we ride to the gas stations, and it's very, very nice. And one of the things that is going on is there's a large group out there that is trying to get rid of street legal, they're trying to get rid of public access, and at the end of the day, it just pisses all of us off. And I want to be really clear about something here. We are for everything outdoor rec. There's some of these groups that go on, and it's the Jeep guys against the side-by-side guys, or the motorcycle guys, or the hikers. We don't give a shit. No. We've never cared.
No, the most important thing is that you're out actually enjoying these public lands.
We come across hikers and bikers all the time. We'll give you water, we'll give you a ride. We've carried people out.
We might give you a hard time a little bit.
A little bit, because it's fun, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I don't care if you're in a Jeep, if you're in a buggy, if you're on a bicycle, you're on a dirt bike, if you're hiking with a backpack. I don't care what you're doing. Enjoy the creation and everything around you. That's the most important. And just because some people out there like to recreate in a different way or they don't do it at all, doesn't make them right. You don't get to take our civil liberties, you don't get to lobby, and you don't get to try to do back deals to take away our freedoms. That does not work for any of us.
No, not at all.
And so like this is just irritating. There's some legislature that's coming up that's going to hit the Senate in a little bit that's really going to infringe upon us. Now, we're talking to every rider out there. We're talking to everybody we know, every enthusiast and business owners. This has cause and effect for everybody.
Let's break it down. Let's break it down, cause and effect for the individual and also the businesses in this industry.
Yeah, and it's like when we have a lot of sponsors, we have a lot of friends in this industry that own a lot of companies. We do business with them. We help promote. When our sponsor board is full, the people that we like and we like their products, Slikrok's always, our moral compass has been about knowing these companies, knowing they're not price gouging, knowing the metallurgy, knowing that when you're buying a product, if we're promoting a product, we know it's quality. We know the companies. We know it has a good warranty. We know that you're going to buy once, cry once. None of us want to buy garbage. This is an expensive sport. But for all these companies out there, you know, and I don't care who you want to talk to. If you want to talk about the manufacturers, you want to talk about the motorsports companies that sell machines and aftermarket parts, you want to talk about the companies that make aftermarket parts, or us as riders and enthusiasts, we're all going to be affected if we can't go ride anymore. If you keep making the population or the populated areas where you cannot go ride, you don't have access, you have to trailer, the harder you make it to go recreate, the worse the sales are going to be for everything.
Right.
Because there's cause and effect with all this stuff. And it's like they all know that. The people working against the outdoor communities, they all know that. And I don't care what it is. Even people who go camping. And it's like half the trails in Utah, almost probably more than 3/4 of all the camp spots are shut down.
Yeah.
And so it's like we have city problems, county problems, state problems, and government problems. And so what happens here is they all extract money from us. They extort money from us. In some cases, like events, they want to charge us all this money so people can ride on public land because it's an event. They want to, you know, it's like we can go ride anytime we want, but if we're have buddies with us and it's an event, if we invite people, now we have to pay money per head in most cases, just so we can abide by the law.
Right.
And it's like, how does that make sense that all, you know, it's like Utah is kind of a funny deal, and other states are as well. The government takes public land and they lease it off to private companies, whether it's oil companies, potash companies, coal mining, logging, cattle, this list goes on and on. So they'll take a section of land, they lease it off to a company, they take in billions of dollars by leasing off all the land that we all pay taxes on. And they're like, well, we got to close it down because technically it's private now. We can't tell everybody that what we're doing. So what do you want to do? Irresponsible outdoor rec users, they're the problem. That's why this trail is getting shut down. That's why this is getting shut down. And so it's like, it's just all this bullshit. And so at a certain point, transparency is not how this works. And it's like, it's really annoying when you figure out, when you calculate the acres of public land towards the acres of public land that's not been leased out, and you calculate and you figure out how much, it took us a lot of digging to figure out how much these states are extracting by leasing out public land. And then they're denying us all access, but our taxes aren't going down. The money goes back to the Department of Interior. They're not doing anything to help us.
Which used to be public record, and then all of a sudden it just stopped being public record.
Yeah, it's not public record anymore. And so at a certain point, and it's like this isn't everybody in government either. It's not everybody in city, it's not everybody in county. We have friends in cities and counties and government and state. You know, it's like, it's like, let's talk about Epstein files. If you're like, oh, the CIA's covered it up. Maybe, but it's not the CIA. It's this covert branch and this one. This is a need to know. It's appendages of all these things.
Right.
It's a little bit different. You know, but it's like, no matter how this works out, this has to be fought. And it's like, we've donated as much money as we can. We raise money for as many causes as we can, but it's exhausting. We can't do this all on our own.
It is. And our biggest fear with it is that if this keeps going unchecked, which at this moment it is,
Yep.
and it just keeps growing exponentially in the wrong direction.
Yeah. And so it's like, you have to scale this. So now I'm talking to you business owners out there. I'm talking to the people that manufacture machines, the people who do this. Let's scale this. It's like if we're losing 2% or 5% every year, let's put this on a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan. What are your kids going to ride on? What are their kids going to ride on? At what point do we have riding parks here and we're trailering everywhere we need to go and we lose access to all this? And it's not just this state. It's everywhere in America. Like, we have allies who fight this stuff in other states. We know a lot of people. And it's like, this is a really hard battle because all these heroes that we have who pay attention to this stuff and fight this stuff, it's like, this stuff isn't cheap. And it's like, imagine you're a person who's well-connected and trying to fight this, and you work a 9-to-5 job like a normal human being, but you got to go to this meeting and this meeting and this hearing, and you got to keep, it just costs money. Attorneys cost money on top of that. There's people who are donating a lot of time and effort, and we give them as much money as we can, but we can't do this on our own. Now, the last thing that we've done, we have never put a call to action together for help from the public, ever. But like, we can't fight this fight on our own. And this isn't a deal where, like, as it turns out, a protest doesn't work. When you see idiots out on a corner holding up signs and people are honking, you're doing a great job. That'll probably solve the problem. Yeah, I doubt it. And it's not solving this problem, you know. But it's like the best thing as riders that we can all do is go enjoy public lands. We want to see everybody out there. We want to utilize it. But these guys who are fighting this and the people we communicate with, they need help. And so we're asking everybody out there, I don't care if it's $1, I don't care if it's $5, I don't care if it's 10. We set up a GoFundMe where we're going to fund the allies that we have to fight the lobbyists in the legislature that are losing. And like we have to help. We have to be involved in this to a certain degree. So what Slikrok is asking you guys on our GoFundMe, I don't care if it's $5. If you can afford $5, help us fight this fight. The future generations of outdoor rec depend on what we do today. And it's like, this is a horrible rant, and I apologize. This is not usually what we talk about, but at the end of the day, we all like to ride, and we like to enjoy the freedoms that we have, and we have hands around all of our necks. It's being squeezed a little bit tighter every year. It's got to stop. And we're not going to quit fighting this fight. If you guys believe in what we believe in, please, if you can afford to help just a little bit, afford to help. If you guys are companies out there and you're involved in this and you can give up $50 or $100 or whatever you can do, help us out. We're going to, we have some big events coming up over the next few months. We're going to do some big donations to some locals that we have here and some in some other states. We're going to make it all public. We're going to make it all transparent. But if you can afford to help, this affects all of us. And if you know, it's like these people who are fighting against outdoor rec, the people who don't believe in what we believe in, I don't care what they believe in. I really don't. But it is our civil rights. It's our freedom to be able to go out and enjoy God's country out here. And if you want to try to take that away from us, you can bet your ass we're going to fight. This is unacceptable behavior. They've started down a path and they're not letting go. We've encountered these people for years and years. We're going to encounter them for years and years. But at the end of the day, we're not going to quit fighting until we're dead. And so at the end of it, if you can please help us, we would certainly appreciate it. We'll see everybody that comes through, and anytime we meet you guys, we'll thank you personally. But thanks for your support. Let's keep our lands free and enjoy the trails out there, everybody.